Yeah, you're on.
Oh, welcome to Nova Talks with your host, Casey Jarvis. Right?
Yeah, that's you.
That's me.
Yeah, you're Casey.
I'm interviewing my pals, my good buddies, Matt White and Dalton Akins.
Yeah, that's us.
We're glad to be here.
This
Casey.
is the podcast where opinions don't matter and neither do facts, so you got nothing.
Cool.
Is this just regular daytime television? What's going on?
Oh,
Yeah, no,
man.
it's something like
Is this The View?
Welcome to The View. I'm your host, Barbara Walters.
Oh,
If you didn't know, our guest today.
can I be Sharon?
Yeah, you can be. if
She's on the talk. Never mind.
You're not pretty enough.
Oh,
Oh.
you also have to be a lesbian.
Thanks for having me, guys.
What are you talking?
Great
What?
being here.
Oh wait, Sharon. That's that's
What are you
Ozzy's
talking
wife.
about?
What's the other girl that was on Roseanne? What was her name?
Roseanne.
No, the other girl.
Rosie O'Donnell.
No, the girl that's on the talk. She used to be on Roseanne. I can't think of her name,
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I don't remember her name. Hang on.
but you know what I'm talking about, right?
The dark-haired girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She was in. Did you ever watch Roseanne? Oh no.
Classic nighttime TV
Indeed.
during the Nick at Night
I'm
golden
lost.
age.
Do you watch television? Casey?
It was before his time.
No.
He was too young.
Right. Because Casey's like 12
Yeah.
and we're like 37.
13, idiot.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'll give you a formal introduction, Casey. All right? Is that okay
that's
with
fine,
you?
that's fine.
I love how it started, though. This is great.
Yeah.
Our guest today is Casey Jarvis, drummer for Jelly Roll, drummer for Struggle Jennings, and lead guy, bass and vocals for Bellevon.
Yes.
That's you. And
That's him.
That is
we're
me.
glad to have you here. We're going to talk about
Thanks for having me.
nonsense, and I hope you're okay with that.
No, I love it.
How are you? How you doing? You doing good?
It's yeah, I'm doing great. I had a wild week. I wanted to save this story while we're on the air.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So, I just got this new job with Jelly Roll, right?
Yes.
Working in a studio, and all I do is play music, and that's it. And I get paid to do that. I just write songs. Me and my buddy Riley, we come up with ideas and write stuff, and we've been working in the studio for 2 weeks, and it's been awesome. But last, I think Wednesday, maybe it was Thursday, I don't know. But we were working in the studio, normal day. It was just really rainy, and so when we go to leave around 7 o'clock, we aren't able to leave because the road has been completely covered in water, fully flooded. So we have to turn around. We go back to the studio. We're like, we can't go anywhere, dude. And so as we're there, the water level just keeps rising and keeps rising. Finally, water starts coming into the house, and we're just like throwing down towels, trying to keep it from coming in.
Oh God.
Oh no.
To no avail.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
We end up in water to about halfway up our calves.
Oh my
our
God.
shin.
It's the 2010 flood
Yeah,
all over again.
No, yeah.
people are
Goodness.
comparing it to the 2010 flood.
Absolutely. Well, so they haven't flooded in this area since the 2010 flood, and it wasn't even as bad as this flood was.
Really?
But it completely it soaked the whole house up to our ankles at the high points of the house, up to the middle of our shins at the low points of the house. Luckily, we were able to save all of the gear in the studio. We were not able to save his dogs, which is a really
Oh my God.
tragic thing. But it just an unbelievable experience. I fully underestimated water until
Oh yeah.
this.
It is dangerous.
A lot of water can be
Yeah.
really dangerous.
No, it was both sides of the house, both exits, the back door and the front door. The back door is like lower to the ground than the front door is lower to the ground than the back door. And so, but both sides of the house was a rushing river. So you look out all the windows and it's just water just pouring by. And it was really scary, man. It was really scary. But on the up note, we love our friend D-Ray. He owns Damn It Boy Studios. and we're doing a what's it called? When you do a benefit show.
Like a charity situation.
Yeah, we're doing a benefit show March 8th at the Warehouse in Clarksville.
Yeah, Warehouse, cool place.
Yeah, awesome
We've talked about the
place.
Warehouse quite a bit on this show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Indeed.
No,
We
yeah,
played
so
there a lot too.
March 8th, we'll be doing a benefit show to all the proceeds go to David Ray and to get his studio back up and going, and hopefully, the some money will go towards the loss of his dogs too. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
terribly sad, but what a week.
Who else gonna
That
be?
is quite a week.
Who else gonna be on the bill?
Jelly Roll, Struggle Jennings. I would bet Alexander King. I literally just heard about this while I was sitting in the parking lot.
Oh, really? So this just
this
happened
building.
then?
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
Well, it's been in talks. I thought it was going to be at Marathon Music Works, but it got moved to the Warehouse. So it's kind of work in progress right now. But there's going to be some great Nashville acts. So
Yeah.
it's
Tight.
and the money, we're not making any money off of it. It's all going to him to build his studio back up. So
Very cool.
great cause. Very, very, very scary thing. I was there for the entire thing. The most relieving feeling I think I've ever felt in my life was when the water had died down and we opened the doors and water just started rushing out of the doors. Like,
Oh,
it was just
man.
like, oh, it's over.
Thank God.
Oh, it's over. Yeah, no, it was crazy. Crazy day.
I couldn't even imagine. I mean, it just happened so
There-
it happened
well,
so fast too,
I-
right?
If you guys have lived in Tennessee, you've heard of these flash flood warnings.
Yeah.
Ever
Yes.
since you've lived here,
Oh, yeah.
never thought a thing about
You
it.
get the notifications on your phone
Yeah,
about
you're
it.
like,
And you're
whatever,
like,
who
oh, or
cares?
whatever.
It's raining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have never understood what a flash flood was until last Thursday. It truly is water just comes out of nowhere, just like, and then it's gone. It's all gone.
That's so crazy.
You're back to going, this is what it normally looks like. What the hell? No, it was really, it was amazing. It was amazing to watch and experience. I hope nobody else does. I hope you never have to experience it. But it was really Mother Nature, man. Mother Nature's scary.
Yeah.
Very, very scary.
Well, you heard somebody died here
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it was very far from where we were.
Real. I mean,
that studio is located out in Centerville, so the next exit past the 172. Yeah, very, very scary. And I'm sorry for any losses to any property or people or God. That was an awful night. That was a scary, scary night.
but I mean, other than the dogs, which is really sad, everyone else is good.
Yeah, we were able to survive. So I was like, I've never gone through anything like this, so it was a really scary thing for me. And I was just trying to be as proactive and, ready to take on any situation as possible. So you get to a point where like we had taken care of all the electronics, we got them all up off the ground, and we got to a point where we're like, everything else is gone. There's nothing you can do. So I literally just sat down and was like, nothing I can do. I just have to wait until the water stops
Yeah.
or it keeps rising or whatever happens.
Man.
Like, it's a waiting game. And so in this waiting game, I went through about 50 different scenarios of how it could go wrong or whatever. And I remember about 15 minutes, I struggled with the idea of being electrocuted. So
Oh, no.
I went through the house looking at all the outlets, seeing where the water level was, and it never got up to a dangerous level. But I do remember I was sitting on the couch, and I was just thinking like, man, a rope would be good. And then D-Ray comes through, and I was like, hey man, do you have any rope at your house? And he was like, why would we need any rope? I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe something happens. We might need some rope. I don't know. He was like, dude, we're not going to need any rope. We're fine. It's all good. So I was like, okay, whatever. So about 20 minutes after that is when they were like, oh, fuck, man. We got to see what's up with the dogs. We have to go check on the dogs. And the water is already it's probably the highest level that it was. It was just rushing by. So he goes to check on the dogs and ends up getting stuck on top of his truck. And we could just like look out the back window. His truck's right there in the driveway and water's just rushing by and he's just standing up there just like looking around.
Sure could
And-
use some rope right
and
now.
No, everything in me, I wanted to so bad just stick my head out the window and go, "Hey, you need that rope now?" It's just so bad. I couldn't do it. It was too soon. Too soon.
Bad timing, I
Yeah,
guess.
terrible timing. I did tell him like 2 days later. I was like, "Man, I really wanted to just see if you needed that rope at that moment."
He's like, shut up.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, funny."
I'm really sad. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no, my timing's never been great.
Oh well, it's fine. I think you should have done it at the time, but you know. So when is the show? So tell us one more time when
March
it is.
8th.
March 8th at the warehouse.
At the warehouse in Clarksville.
Really?
All proceeds go to David Ray at Damn It Boy Studios, and he needs it. It's a terrible
that's really sad.
Yeah, he's a good
And
friend.
It's a great venue too.
Yeah.
It's a big place, but it's also an intimate venue at the same time.
Yeah. It's very wide, or I'm sorry, very long, not very wide.
Yeah.
Mm.
The stage isn't
It
extremely
feels a lot smaller
big.
than it is.
That was my very first show with Jelly Roll.
I remember you posting about
I
it.
did terrible. I almost ruined the show because it's just such a different world from rock and roll bands. You know?
Yeah, and I want to get to that about that transition, but first I want you to tell us about how you got with Jelly Roll. You've already told us about it, but we want to know the beginning and how you got hooked up with Jelly Roll.
Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, I was doing nothing with my life. I had dropped out of college. I was living with my dad, mostly playing video games, working at Maggiano's as a busboy.
How was that, by the way? I
It
feel
wasn't
like
bad. I really, honestly, that was a cool job just because it was such a big restaurant that, like, when you went into the kitchen, there was this whole world of people, and just, you know, that was their job, was working in the kitchen. And then there was also this whole world of, like, the front of house, like the servers and the busboys and whatever, and the hosts. So it was like you had two different sections, but there was just a ton of people working all the time. So
I mean, it's a pretty massive place.
yeah, very big.
It's 2 stories too, right?
Yeah. There's like the ballroom area, and then the actual main restaurant. I never worked the ballroom. That's where all the money was, so they wouldn't put me there.
We gotta keep this guy out of it.
Yeah, no. I would sneak down there to smoke my cigarettes and get caught by my manager. He'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "I'm smoking cigarettes."
Get back to work.
Yeah, no, that very big restaurant. Lots of really cool people work there. I'm sure they still work there. Shout out to Maggiano's. Had great managers. They just hated me because I was a dickhead. Yeah. But so I was working at Maggiano's and doing nothing, just playing video games and smoking weed. And I went to go buy a bag of marijuana from a friend of mine, and I went up there, did my deal, came back downstairs. He lived in this apartment complex, and there was like this courtyard in the middle, and like the building kind of surrounded the courtyard. So when I come back down, like I was with him, and we were going to the gas station or something. Come downstairs, this guy's standing there smoking a cigarette, and I just walking by him, just said, "Hey, what's up, dude? How's it going?" And he was like, "Yo, dude." And so we just keep walking a little bit, and he goes, "Hey, hang on a second. What? You guys look like musicians, man. Do you guys play anything?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I play the drums." He's like, "Wow, okay, we're looking for a rock and roll drummer." And I was like, "Okay, I'm a rock and roll drummer." And he was like, "Well, let me show you some of these tracks." And he showed me, I showed him a video of me playing drums, and then he showed me a track where, like a Jelly Roll track. And I at that time, I'm not a very big fan of rap. Big metalhead, big rock and roll fan, don't really care for rap.
Yeah.
So he shows me that, and I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, we're going on tour on the West Coast, all over the place. We're looking for a drummer to go. And so I get in the car with my friend. I'm like, that's pretty cool opportunity. And he goes, "Dude, do you know who Jelly Roll is?" It's like, no, who is it? He's like, "Dude, you need to take this gig. This is like, you need to take this gig.
Yeah.
This is huge." I'm like, all right, well, I'll see what's up. So I just jumped in, started. I went to a practice or a rehearsal. It was actually really, it was very gangster. We we met at this restaurant, and me and Phil Bogard, who was the guy that I met. He's a great guitarist, Nashville cat. He actually runs a, what's it called? Rockin' for Sobriety or some sort of thing like that. He's very into being sober, and he has this whole, I'm butchering. Shout out to Phil Bogard. Just look him up.
If you want to know more about what he does, send him a message.
Rehabilitation center, maybe?
Yeah, he's like super into AA, and he
cool.
does like rehab for musicians, but he uses music as the rehab. From my understanding, again, I could be completely butchering this, but anyway, I go to a dinner with Jelly Roll and Phil, and Jelly sat across from us, and he just like basically interrogated me, like he just asked me a bunch of questions about myself, and it was like a job interview, really. But after that, after the dinner, we went to Sonny P's house, who is a pretty legendary producer, and we went to his place. He had a little drum set in the basement, and they just put on a song, and I played along with it, and they're like, yeah, you're good, man, come on. So from then on, I just practiced, and now I've been with him for almost 5 years.
That's so cool.
It was literally the luckiest thing I could have ever fallen into. No skill whatsoever came into
just going and buying a bag of weed.
It was literally like, I'm wasting my life. I'm going to continue to do that. And then out of nowhere, this guy's like, you look a certain way. What's going on?
He profiled you.
He profiled me. And
profiling, not always
it's
wrong.
not always bad. It's not always bad. You can look at someone and go, that guy looks a certain way. And sometimes you get what you need. And
You're right.
I'm that example.
That's actually pretty cool how the interrogation and then taking you into a basement.
Yeah, no, it was literally
you play drums.
It was scary, man. It was, because like I knew that he was a rapper, and I know that the connotations around rap are very like, gangster, and like he really is that dude. Like he has lived a very crazy life.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what he's ever gone through, but it's always had this little intimidation factor of like, got to stay on my P's and Q's, got to make sure
Which
I'm
is
giving him what he
actually
needs.
good on his part, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's such an interesting world, man. So interesting.
Whenever I see like pictures you post of the shows you play, it looks like it's just a whole different world. Like I feel like there's a community of people just in the Jelly Roll and struggle world.
There is. They've found such a niche of like, it's so hard to call it. You can't call it country rap, because there's this whole genre of country rap that's just hokey, man. It's like really lame, and I got nothing against what they're rapping about. It's nothing like that. It's just the music quality and the quality of their musicianship is just lame.
Yeah, and the production's really polished,
bad,
and but not in a good way.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a really weird
Too
genre.
clean.
So they have found this this niche of keeping their roots of this southern sound and this country sound, and like Struggle Jennings is Waylon Jennings' grandson, so he uses a lot of samples from Waylon,
which is so awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool,
dude. It's such a, I mean, God, I never would have imagined 808 kick drums with Waylon's voice, but in the weirdest way it works. Like in the weirdest way it makes sense, and but yeah, so like they've found this niche of this country southern, I'm gonna call it southern because it's not like typical country. It's like a southern sound, like southern rock mixed with rap, and it just works so well, man. It's definitely check it out if you haven't. It's worth a listen.
And the stuff he writes about, it's stuff that's happened.
It's
to
real
him.
life.
It's real stuff.
Well, that's the beauty of it, is they're not just rapping about women and cars and money and I'm stronger than you or whatever.
Yeah.
They're rapping about
it's not a pissing
addiction
contest.
And they don't care. That's what's so awesome, is they don't care about, I need to be this sort of image because I want to be on Drake's level or whatever. It's this image of, look, I'm telling you the truth. This is what's happening in my world. You know, this world of poverty that I grew up in is distraught and a terrible place to be in your life. And, you know, they bring light to it in a way. I mean, Jelly, for instance, he gets, I would bet a message a day, someone telling him that he saved them from addiction. And
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's something about his music, because he speaks so honestly, it's so therapeutic for people to hear, just because it's about the truth. It's about, you know, my baby mama is on heroin right now, and she relapsed after coming out of rehab, and I have to take care of my daughter and keep her away from this world that I don't want her to ever see. And it's really a beautiful statement and a beautiful thing to write music about, because it is a dark area of our society and a world that a lot of people don't understand. Like me myself, I've never understood poverty to that level. I've had a taste of poverty, but not to the level of my mom can't even feed me. I've always had dinner on my table.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to be that poor is a world that I don't understand. So, I don't know, for them to let me in and to really be a part of their crew is awesome, because what they're doing is a very valuable art form.
Yeah,
I
and
think,
not
yeah.
a lot. Nobody's really doing it right now, especially in that genre.
There's a lot of rappers that are you know, speaking truth, but there's an oversaturated amount of rappers that are just bragging about what they have.
Yeah.
And I think more and more people are going, who the fuck cares? Who cares? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of car you're driving.
Yeah.
Give me something with substance.
Something I can relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just any kind of substance. I don't know how to relate to, you know, my
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Dude, no, it's just racks on racks on racks. Like, come on, I don't get it. And I don't know. I could preach about that all day, but hey,
That's
everybody,
why
go
we're
check
here.
out Jelly Roll and
Yeah, go
Struggle
check 'em
Jennings,
out.
man.
Check out Struggle too.
They speak truth.
That's really cool. So you were saying
That is the good word.
yes, but you were saying earlier, because they said they wanted a rock drummer, but
Yeah,
what you're doing isn't. I mean, it's rock, but it's definitely more of like a rap beat.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know how to word it correctly, but
So I think what I ended up bringing to the table is being able to play along with the weird hi-hats and the kick patterns and just the groove of rap I was able to keep up with, while also keeping that kind of like Travis Barker energy of just like beating the hell out of the drums,
Yeah.
you know? And I think that's at the end of the day what they were looking for. It's all about dynamics for me and finding your place in the track, where they don't take out the drums for me to play in replacement of,
because you're playing with the DJ
right
as well.
right.
You're
So,
playing to a track.
yeah, and if they wanted just my drum sounds to drive the song, they could obviously go to the studio that they did it at and say, hey, can you give us a track without any of the drums in it?
Yeah.
But that would take away from the rap sound of it.
Yeah.
So it gave me the challenge as a drummer of trying to find my place with the track.
Yeah.
I have to work off of the track, because, you know, if I was trying to follow every single little, you know, little flourish and just every note that is played by the electronic drum machine, there would be no point for me, or there would be no point for the drum machine. It would be one or the other. But I've tried to find where I fit in with it all, where, you know, the hi-hats are doing this crazy fast thing. I don't need to play along with that. I need to let the hi-hats do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it goes with each instrument. I mean, you know, you want to hit the snare at the same time, obviously. You want to hit the kick drum generally the same time. You can find some cool places to punch in every now and again with your kick drum, but it's the challenge of it is finding my spot where I can not only, keep the tempo up and make sure everybody's on tempo, but also add to the song, add my own flavor, and, put in a cool rock and roll drum fill whenever it works.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it would make you appreciate simplicity more too.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mhm.
Dude, to be honest, like I can some shows I can sit there and watch the TV at the bar and get away with it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Which is great.
yeah, no, it's really cool, but it also gives me freedom where it's a very simple song. It's a very there's not a whole lot going on, so I can do whatever I want. I mean, I can play any fill as long as it's within taste.
Yeah.
I can play really however I'd like as long as it's in tempo, and nobody really knows.
Yeah.
So I've never played a show the same way. I mean, there's a few fills and a few things that I'll try to stay true to, but every single Jelly Roll show I've ever played, or Struggle show for that matter, I play completely differently. It's a whole new show every time. So that's cool about the simplicity. That makes it a little more fun as a drummer to just kind of have a layout for you to work off of.
Exactly. Because that's always doing the same thing.
It's like a blank coloring book.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just fill it in how
I just
you
fill
want.
in
Yeah.
the color. Absolutely.
It keeps things interesting for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the monotony can really kill creativity.
Yeah.
Because
In a big way.
Yeah, because there's lots of bands that go out and play. They play the exact same show every single night.
Yeah. Lick
s-
for lick.
So
It would be so hard to do that for me because I just you grow every day as a musician. You
Yeah.
know? You are a different musician the next day as you were the day before. Not because you're better or anything, but because each day you have a whole new perspective. You have a different view. You may have a shitty day and you're just like, I want to play a sad chord.
yeah,
Or I want to play a little slower or whatever. You may have a great day and you're like, this chord really makes me feel a certain way. You're a different musician every single day. So it's to sit there and for 20 years play the exact same drum licks over and over and over. I mean, I can only imagine how much of a job that would seem to people.
oh
you
yeah,
know? It just takes the fun out of it. You're not having fun anymore. It's fun for me to go on stage and try something that I've never tried before. One, because there's a bunch of people in the crowd that, maybe that one lick is going to be the thing that people are like, oh, this dude's crazy.
yeah,
Or maybe I completely fail and I go, I shouldn't do that again. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like, but having that crowd in front of you kind of gives you that fire to, try new things or to, it's as much of a fuel as your love for music. Like
Oh,
playing
yeah.
in front
Mhm.
of people. It's a fuel. for
And
sure.
a crowd is important as well. I mean, it is, and there is that saying, play like you're playing to 1,000 people, even if there's just one person in the
Absolutely.
audience. But
It's
having
hard to do.
Yeah.
having 200, 300, 400 people in front of you, that really fuels the fire.
It's
Mhm.
very. The more people in the crowd, the less intimate it gets. The less like.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I'm gonna have to talk to anybody after the show after I've played
Yeah.
in front of thousands of people.
yeah,
But the pressure is really on because that's 1,000 people. If you guys fucking rock, that's 1,000 people that are gonna be like, those guys were awesome.
yeah. I'm
And
going
I
to Facebook liking them right now.
I
I'm
wanna
going to
see
buy
what's
their
up.
CD.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But it's a different experience in a way that, like, there's a lot of pressure with 1,000 people, but there's even more pressure at a 200 capper venue. Like,
oh yeah,
if you were to sell out a 200 capper, you've got 200 people there. That's 200 people that your green room's probably this big, as big as a bubblegum pack. And
you're all really
you're
close
all
together.
just like smashed in there. And me, I don't like being crammed into places. So it's, I'll usually go roam the crowd and
Sure.
go get a beer, hang out at the bar or whatever, watch some sports or whatever. But at those 200 capper shows, you're going to talk to practically everybody in the crowd.
you can't hide. There's
Yeah,
no hiding. at
there's
that
no
show.
hiding. No.
On
But in
or
a-
off stage.
Yeah, exactly. But in like at a festival or something, it's like you go on that stage and you play for 30 minutes and you get off and you're in this whole backstage area where you can walk around and they got food for you.
Totally different world.
Completely different world. You can walk out into the crowd and watch the other bands. You can walk into the band area and watch the other bands.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different world. So
How was that transition? Because previously, I mean, you were in multiple other bands, garage bands, and then getting into this, I mean, you're pretty much automatically playing to
Big step up.
a lot more people.
There wasn't much of a transition for me because I just had to do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It was like of course I had fear and apprehension.
Yeah.
But it was this dude's paying me to do this. So
Yeah.
if I don't do it, I'm either fired or I ruin the show in front of these people. So it was just I had to push my nerves. Like, I couldn't even think about how nervous I was.
Sure.
That couldn't even be in my mind. I had to just do what I was supposed to do. And I mean, I've messed up in front of thousands and thousands of people, and I've messed up in front of 20 people. And it doesn't, you personally are going to notice your mess up more than anybody in the whole world is going to notice.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean, you'll on stage be like, God, that was so terrible. You walk
Yeah.
off stage, people are like, dude, that was great. That was so awesome.
No,
You're like, no, I
that's
totally
the weirdest
sucked.
thing. Yeah, no, and nobody wants to hear that either. Nobody wants to, go to somebody that they appreciate and be like, dude, that was like one of the coolest shows ever. And you go, no, dude, no, man, I sucked, bro. I had that experience one time. Alex Rudinger, he's a god of a drummer. He's amazing. And I saw them play, and I was just completely blown away. And I went up to him afterwards, and I was like, dude, that is one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen. That was so cool. And the whole time he was like pissed at me for saying it. And I was like, I mean, sorry to bum you out, dude, but that was like amazing. And he's like, no, dude, I messed up so many times tonight, bro.
Did
just
that
like,
like put a
dude.
damper on it for you? Were you like,
A little bit. Like, I was happy. I was super happy to have seen him perform. I was happy to be in his presence and meet him, talk to him. But it was like one of the best drummers that I've ever seen is complaining about how he had a bad night. It's like, dude, I would give anything to have your bad night.
Yeah.
If I
for
had
sure.
your bad night, I would be the best drummer I know. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I don't know. Everybody's human, so it's like
Maybe that's why he's so good. He's so hard on himself that he just pushes
What's
himself to
funny,
do better.
That's exactly what the bass player for the Contortionists said, and I completely regret ever saying this. The Contortionists is probably my favorite band ever, and we played the show in Indiana, and their bass player was our sound guy.
Oh my God.
He got on stage running our sound as I'm loading stuff in, and I was like, what? It's like, I know you.
I've watched you a lot.
Yeah, no,
on
I
YouTube.
have been to your shows. I know every song you've ever written. This is kind of cool, man. What's up? So, really cool night. We just hang out, smoke weed all night together.
As you
Very
do.
cool guy. But I brought that situation up to him because he knows Alex. And I think him and his other sound guy were talking about him, or I don't know, something like that. I was like, man, I had a weird experience with him. He was like, dude, that's why he's that good. Like, he's that hard on himself.
Yeah.
You saw him and you thought he was flawless, but he played it and he hated it. He didn't think he did good at all. And that's why he's one of the best drummers in the world. I was like, yeah, all right, makes sense.
It does make sense.
Can't fucking argue with that.
But you do hate to hear it, though, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
I think it's
mean,
fine to be that hard on yourself, but I think it's also good to accept.
accept a compliment. Yeah.
Just take it.
That's what it was. If he would have just been like, man, thank you, I appreciate it. You know, I didn't have the greatest night, but whatever.
Yeah.
But instead, when I was like, dude, that was amazing, he was like, no, it wasn't. I had a terrible night.
Did he like?
No,
like,
it really was amazing. I
he,
was
like,
amazed.
Did he like over dramatize it? Was it
A
like
little
really
bit,
like?
a little bit. I mean, I've been there, man. So it's like I get what he was feeling in a way. Obviously not at his level, because he probably did like, and then like that was a mess up to him. Where me, that was so fast, I didn't even have time to
Didn't even
fathom what
catch
he
it.
did.
Yeah.
Where like something I'm playing is going to be a little easier to catch. But if I have a bad night, I've had times where I'm like, man, yeah, I appreciate it, but I didn't play that good tonight. I hope you come see me at a better show or something. I've had nights like that, so I get it. It is what it is. But I don't know. You live and you learn. I don't think people want to hear that. I think people want to give you the compliment, and you go, dude, thank you very much. Great to meet you. You know what I mean?
They want to join together in this good moment.
Right.
Like, I want to be on the same level as you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a dampener. It really is. Like if you go, oh yeah, no, I suck tonight. People are like, oh,
I'm sorry.
I want my excitement to make you happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because it especially if it's somebody you want to talk to that you look up to, it takes guts to go up and be like, hey, that was great.
Exactly.
So you should be
That's
be
already
grateful
a
for
step.
that.
Yeah, like, yeah, man. I've had to like drag my friends over to people that are famous.
Yeah.
To just to get them to talk to him. Like they're like, dude, oh my God, that's him. I want to talk to him so bad. That's him. It's like, just go over there. He's right there. He's just a human.
Yeah, exactly. But
if he says go away, well then he's an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. That's the end of it.
Now you know.
You have a terrible conversation with him. Fuck it. He's a dick.
Yeah. So back to the jelly roll thing. I want to know what the line is because you kind of made it sound like a job, which I guess it is. It is a job, but what's the percentage of this is really fun to this is also my job and I need to take it really seriously?
I would say 80% fun, 20% job.
Okay.
It's
a pretty fair balance,
Yeah.
I'd say.
dude, it's a dream come true.
Oh yeah,
Legitimately.
absolutely.
It's everything. As a kid, it may not be the genre of music that I intended to be playing, but that's not how life works.
Yeah.
But
if I had my choice, I'd be playing avant-garde polka, but you don't always get to
that
live
sounds
your life.
amazing.
No,
I bet the crowd would be
sure
really
you're in the right
boring,
country
though.
for that.
What kind of guitar would you be playing?
a hollow body.
Of course. Actually, just play a tuba. That would be
that.
even perfect. How'd you get this tuba in here, Casey? Jeez. Oh, there's video. Oops.
Oh yeah.
Never mind,
No,
sorry.
they'll know that I don't actually have a tuba. If you're listening on audio, I don't actually have a tuba. I'm sorry.
He's not gonna lie to you and tell you that he has one, but I am. It was totally a tuba.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Thanks, Dalton, for
Yeah.
lying for me.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. But that's good though. That's good that but I'm sure in that type of because everyone's gonna be professional. So you take it seriously, but since you're all on the same page of hey, we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You get to have fun that way.
Yeah, absolutely. You go. I mean, for one, the people you tour with become some of your closest friends, and they're just complete outcasts, misfits. Like you would never expect. Like I'm sure, if I would have never become part of this situation, they would never I would never be able to talk to them in the same way that I'm able to talk to my peers now. They're my peers. So it's like it's a really, and I'm sure every job is like that. I mean, the people you meet, just because work forces you together, you grow this really strong bond, and it's awesome. I mean, I'm friends with some of the hardest gangsters I've ever met in my life and ever will meet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it's just a world that I never expected to get into, but now that I'm here, I'm just so grateful because it's a whole other side of society that, I mean, it's outcast. It's a society that people really don't understand fully and never will because they won't let it be.
They don't give him a chance.
They don't give them a chance.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a shame, really, but
There's some cool outcasts out there.
absolutely. I think if anybody sees a person chilling by themselves and they don't look too sketchy, I mean, there's sketchy people out there. If they don't look too sketchy, just go say hi, man. They're probably cool. They probably got some cool stories.
Oh yeah. See what you have in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really that easy.
Start with music. Everybody loves music.
Start with music. I have encountered a couple of people that don't like music, and it really scared me.
Are they the Antichrist?
Oh my god. I had
Now that
no
I put
idea.
two and two together.
All right, so
Explains all those 666 tattoos.
I really should have seen those. It was right on his forehead, and I just looked right past it.
Man.
He had Satan's spawn tattooed under both of his eyelids.
Couldn't think of it. He had a forked tail, too.
God, I need glasses.
How's that astigmatism?
Not great. Okay, so we'll get off of the Jelly Roll thing for a second. I want to talk about your band.
Okay.
So you're already a busy guy. You're already
Yeah.
busy enough.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide I'm gonna go ahead and start my own band and record and play shows?
Oh, this has been a thing for a while now. I guess 3 years or so. That sounds about right. I think about 3 years I've been working on this band. I can play it all, man. I can play bass, I can play guitar, and you can't, there's no melody to drums. I mean, there's a subtle melody that you can have in mind when you're playing, but like I can write songs. I like to write songs. So that has also been something that I am passionate about and like to pursue, and this has been my outlet. So it's I've also had this group of friends for since I was in middle school. I think 8th grade is when I really met these guys. And
Yeah. It's you and Riley.
Riley Fulton and Garrett Thomas.
Yep.
And my little brother Keith Welcher is on drums.
Newest edition.
Newest edition.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just it's an outlet for me to write songs with my friends, and they write songs too. And you know, it's a cool situation. It's laid back. You know, it's not. I mean, we're just total music nerds. So like we will spend a month on one recording just to make sure every part of it is just perfect, and that can be taxing, but
Sure.
that's the art of it. That's the joy of it. And you know, hopefully one day we'll let some of that stuff release. But yeah, no, it's I like writing songs, and I like playing other instruments, and that's a way for me to do that. So
Because a lot of the licks you guys are playing are pretty intricate things. So I could see why you would spend so much time making sure it's just perfect. you know?
yeah, the music won't come across unless it's the best performance from each member.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there's, I mean, if there's a missed note, you know, it's gonna completely mess it up. It's, you know, if there's little like feel things that we'll do where, you know, something has kind of a slight swing to it, and it'll, you know, if we don't have that perfectly down as a unit, then it completely messes up the sound and the feel of that moment in the song, and like just weird Dungeons and Dragons shit like that. And that's what I like when people I've like been arguing with my guitarist, and people are like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Dude, we're just arguing about which dragon's stronger. It's not even that big of a deal." It's stupid.
Obviously, it's the red one. Come on, what are you
Yeah,
talking about?
thank you.
Yeah. I mean, jeez.
They call him Smolderthorn. Thank you.
You know, isn't that your name on Facebook? Dragon Slayer?
Dragon
Isn't
Slayer,
that incorporated in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see myself as a dragon slayer, as a metaphorical dragon slayer.
Yeah. You want to elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, every situation you come across. I mean, like, look back into those times. You didn't really have all these dumb situations you had to come across. It was either survive or die. And in those times, you know, you had to slay the dragon to survive. So that's kind of how it is today. You just have to slay the dragon day by day. And the dragon being whatever it is you're conquering each day. I don't know.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
That's what I call it. I
Right.
don't care what the kids are calling it. Most kids are stupid.
After this, I'm going to go slay my dragon.
Whoa. Whoa.
So whenever you formed this band, Bellevant,
Yeah.
did you have a genre in mind, or did you just want to just lay it down, get your friends together, and see what happens?
I was very, very influenced by this band called Chon.
Yeah, you've let me listen to some of their stuff. Yeah.
So the first time I listened to them, I was actually kind of pissed off because they stole the music out of my head. Like I've always been a metal fan. Like I've always loved heavy metal, and I've not always liked that like lack of melody. And like the reason people are like, dude, it's just noise, is because they're so like atonal and they just play like half steps and they scream and there's no graspable melody unless you're really digging into it and listening. There's not a serious hook or a melody that you can latch onto and love, where Chon takes that kind of visceral aggression of metal and adds beautiful melody and harmony and makes it this just rhythmically challenging, melodically challenging. It sounds like video game music, a lot of it does, but I don't know, if you really enjoy upbeat, make you feel good music with good melody, no vocals, they're instrumental. They're a great band to listen to. But my whole thinking was I want to be Chon with vocals. And so obviously we're not at their level, we're not shredding our faces off, but the textures and the chord progressions and stuff that they use are very, like, they use a lot of jazz chords, and I like to incorporate jazz chords in my songwriting. So I just write a bunch of cool jazz chords and put vocals over it, and so do my friends. So.
That's beautiful, really.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Whenever you're writing for this band, what's your process? What's first?
Usually we'll start with a guitar riff, and then we'll argue about that guitar.
Man, I know that feeling.
Intermittent with the whole dragon thing.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we'll write a guitar riff, and so Garrett and Riley are the guitarists. They will typically write together, come up with a part together, and then we'll bring it to the group. It doesn't go much further from there. It's usually like a riff or two, or just a general idea of how things are going to go. So then we'll bring it to the practice room, and the whole band will just kind of sit there and play through the parts that we know, talk about how it could go in this direction, or talk about how it could go in this direction, write another part. We haven't really nailed down a solid formula,
like a step-by-step process.
Yeah, it's kind of random, and it a lot of times depends on how we're feeling. I mean, sometimes it we'll get this riff and we all really like this riff, but then we're just like, what do we do? Like, we could just loop this riff and it's a song.
Yeah.
What do we do after this? We're trying to kind of back ourselves, like pull ourselves back from just playing riff after riff after riff, and trying to really form up a song and have this kind of verse chorus idea, without it being just pop music. We want it to be technically, like, musically inclined, but we want to have that kind of that pop.
You want it to be catchy.
Formula. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We want it to be accessible. We don't want to alienate anybody.
Sure.
We want it to be accessible to where whoever gets it will enjoy it, and kind of keep that whole vibe. And I think we're doing pretty good. One of our biggest influences is Steely Dan, and they were huge during their time, and I really truly think they'll live on forever. But they could be alienating sometimes. They really just did whatever the hell they wanted to, and I want it to be like that, but I also want to have the vein of trying to make music that people enjoy and can possibly enjoy. I mean, this is not a genre of music that is popular right now. It's rock and roll is not dead, it's just in slumber.
Yeah.
And
it comes in waves.
It comes in waves, and I think there's going to be another wave of it. I think people are going to get really, really sick of hearing this just perfectly polished music, and they're gonna want to hear some grimy guitars again.
That's what rock is missing right now. That's what it's
Yeah.
missing.
Dude,
There's
I'm
only a
so
couple
sick
bands.
of these producers just making these songs sound like they're made out of titanium and diamonds.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
where is the human in that? There is none.
there isn't.
You know, that is what music is missing in every genre, I feel. Country music, rock and roll, rap, and that's why I am going back to the Jelly Roll and Struggle thing. That's why I'm very passionate about playing with Jelly and Struggle. Is it's real, it's true. They use very, very minimal auto tune, but their lyrics are true. It's just it's genuine music, and that's what the world is missing right now.
And it's actually really cool that they added a drummer to the lineup, because they, like you said, they could have just had tracks and a DJ,
Yeah.
but
Well,
adding
there's not a whole lot
drummer-
of room for drummers in the rap world. There's really not.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I'll put it this way: every single band that I have been on tour with, every single rap group or rapper that I've ever toured with Jelly Roll, they end up with a drummer the next tour.
Yeah, of course.
They see the energy, they see what
Yeah.
it brings to the table, and they go, "I need that," and they
Yeah.
get a drummer every single time. Every time.
It adds that raw element, because I mean,
It makes it a show.
Hey,
I went
yeah.
to a rap show. I went and saw my favorite rapper one time, and I left so disappointed and angry because it was just him on stage going like, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah, and his DJ behind him going, hey, yeah, 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 with the other hand. Like, who cares? No, and the whole crowd was just standing there staring at him.
really,
Yeah.
Who-
Well, that's typical for Nashville, I think.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
like it was just, there was no energy, there was no like love for the music. He wasn't up there jumping around or anything, and I know there's a lot of rappers that do that kind of like really jump around and feel the energy of the song, and I think that's what gives rap shows this energy and why people go to them. But the one that I went to, I was like, dude, if he had a guitarist that pretended to play guitar and a drummer that basically played along, it would be a whole different show.
Yeah.
It would be a completely different world. And you know, from then on, I've just been like, dude, get a drummer. If any rap artist has any questions for me, my answer is get a drummer to
Yeah.
every
Add
question.
the human element.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so important.
Give it some musicians love, and you won't regret it.
That's true. I also feel like drumming is as primal as it gets when it comes to music.
Yes.
There's no hiding.
I mean, it
There-
originated in the heart of Africa.
That's true.
That's as primal as it gets.
That's true.
Well, drumming is rap.
I mean,
That,
yeah.
that is what
pretty much.
rap came from. They would loop drum samples from old jazz songs or old rock songs or whatever song they could get their hands on. They would take a drum sample and just loop it over and over and over, and then they'd rap over it. It is all drum based, and even today's rap. I mean, the melody. If you think about one of Drake's songs, like let me think. There's this Drake song that's literally just like nah, 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 but then the drums are just going crazy over that, and then Drake raps over it. It's like, that's just drums. It didn't
Yeah.
even need the melody,
Yeah.
you know? And so I think most of rap is drumming. And I think Travis Barker started the idea of having drums along with rap. And I think some people took that to heart. The song that Phil showed me when he tried to recruit me to Jelly Roll was a song that Jelly Roll did with Travis Barker called When I Get Rich.
That's dope.
And I was listening to that going, holy shit, those drums are sick. Like that would be really fun to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's drums are rap. That's all it is. You
It's-
don't
it's-
need that
it's
melody.
syncopation.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
it. You're just doing it with your
Absolutely.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. No, I have nothing else to add.
I thought you were going to say
Anything?
something.
No.
Anything, Matt?
I thought you
Sure.
had something really important to
I
say.
mean, I
And,
could find something important to
Yeah,
say.
go ahead. Say something really important.
I think we should talk about our history.
I think we
oh,
should.
Yeah, I think it's time.
I think that's important.
I think
After
we
that
should.
awkward pause, it's time to talk about something even more awkward. And
Woo!
that's our teenage years.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Oh God. Do we want to do this? Is that what we're about
Yeah.
to do? Okay.
Let's talk about the basement times.
Do we?
The basement
Do we want to?
times.
That reminded me of something.
Uh-oh.
Do we want to talk about the very beginning? How it all?
I would love to
Yeah.
because I don't remember.
Did I not tell you?
I knew.
I said we'll talk about our history with Casey, but it's probably wiped completely from
Yeah.
his
Look,
memory.
no, the only thing I remember is how the band ended in
Oh,
just
I
the
remember that day as
cringiest
well.
way. Just like
remember that day too.
I will never forget that in my whole life, dude. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe I don't even remember how we completely got together.
Well, it was because you two were in band.
Yeah, but that's
what
not.
I was gonna say.
I don't know if that's how we actually. Because you weren't in high school band whenever you joined Back Road Brigade.
I was in high school band in 8th grade.
He was.
No,
He was on drumline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess you
I
were.
played. No, I
guess
played
you were.
clarinet. I
Oh.
played
Yeah, he
clarinet
played-
my
Oh, that's
8th
right.
grade year, and then I joined drumline after that.
That's right. I forgot.
Because I was gonna quit. I was like, dude, this is lame. I don't want to do this anymore. And he was like, look, man, just join the drum line. You already play drums at home. You're only gonna get better at drums. Just join the drum line. I was like, all right. And I did it all 4 years.
And that changed his life forever.
But we became friends in 8th grade year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because you were friends with Lindsay.
Yeah.
And I was. Obviously, I had to be friends with her because she was also
She was-
clarinet.
yeah.
So, no regrets. No, I don't remember how it came to be, because I was kind of.
We okay, now I remember. We were talking, we were just friends. We would call each other sometimes, and and then we had sex. No.
Man,
Kiss
I don't
every
remember
now
that
and
part.
then in the back
That's how the
room.
band started. No,
I wasn't there for that part.
I remember we were on the phone one night, and I was telling you that me and Matt had kind of wanted to start up a project. You were in a band at the time, and then we
if
said
that's what you want to call it.
whatever. I don't remember what band it was.
It was either oh god, the Poinsettia Conviction.
Yeah.
Was that what it
my.
was?
No, that was.
What was the one after that? Okay, so the Poinsettia Conviction, we played one song over and over and over and over, and it was a cover. And we literally, that was it. That was all we did was play that one cover. We played it at the talent show. It was cringy. But yeah, that was my very first band ever, the
Yeah.
Poinsettia Conviction.
Was it Fireflies by Owl City?
No, oh god, what was that song? The band was called Vanna. They were like this really emo band.
Clearly dedicated to Vanna White.
Right, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I have no idea what the song was called. Dead Language for a Dying Lady. That's what it was
That was
called.
really
Oh.
fast. That came out. He just pulled it right out.
I
of
have
it.
no idea. I have an idea. Yeah. No, so we played that song over and over. And then so I was like, yeah, I'm in a band, dude. Yeah. Dude, bro, I play drums in a band, man. Maybe we could start a project if I have time in my schedule.
In my busy 8th grade life. Mom's
But-
making cheese sticks for dinner.
That's literally how it went.
That's true. That was the thing that happened. No,
Yeah.
so we were on the phone, and I told you about me and Matt wanted to start a thing, and we were like, or I said we were looking to find a drummer, and you said, well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I was like, but you're already in a band, and
That's
you're
pretty
like,
much how I
but
go.
yeah, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
yeah,
that's
all right,
okay.
cool.
All right.
And then, do you remember our very first show? We talked about this in a previous podcast, but our very first show, do you remember? Matt remembers.
Okay. The first thing that's coming to mind is at that center. I don't even know. It was like
You're talking about the talent thing.
no. It was in like this warehouse looking thing. It probably wasn't our first show.
Warehouse.
It was like
You talking about Peyton's birthday party?
it may have been.
Oh.
That was like later on in our career.
No, I know. That wasn't even Peyton.
That was
That
just
was,
the first thing that came to
No,
mind. I don't
Peyton
remember.
Lashley.
Oh,
Her birthday
I
party.
forget.
Do you remember
It was
that?
in, like,
I
that
forgot
big
what her
building,
first
you
name
know?
was.
It was like a weird
Yeah, that was
building.
the
I don't know.
Tinsco Center.
Yeah, the Tinsco Center.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what I was
we
looking for.
played we played our 16th birthday party. Much later on in the career, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, much later on.
I forgot what her
Wait,
first name was.
That's where I met my friend Keith Hamilton, I think.
Cole Lyles was there too.
Cole Lyles was there.
Cole Lyles. That Cole Lyles is how I met Keith Hamilton, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there you go.
Interesting.
There you go.
Whoa. Memory lane.
But no, our first show was my 17th birthday party.
At your house.
Yeah.
Where we took the pictures.
Yes.
Well, okay. My dad still has like a huge
Yes.
blow up
Oh,
picture.
does he really?
Poster. Yeah.
Where does
Yeah,
he
as
have
do
it?
I.
Where
It's
does
in
he
his
have it?
room. It's in his room.
Are
He's
you
Yeah,
serious?
no, it's literally like
sexy.
it was printed out on a piece of paper and then he like taped it to plywood or to like a piece of cardboard or something like that.
Oh my
Like,
God.
It's just this big printout of us like I'm sitting there like this.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Matt and Dalton have their instruments and it's just like
We're all barefoot. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. And we all wore the tie.
Yeah.
No, I totally remember that.
I remember that day. Well, that actually still wasn't our first show. That was just a day that we decided to dress up and take pictures and play.
And people were there.
We did.
It was. I think it was just my mom and dad.
it
thought
was.
there
That
were
was just us. We did like a video,
And
that
then
day,
friends came over.
and then the birthday party was like after that.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
like a different day or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. But I remember because you came over that day because we tried to color coordinate, right?
Yes.
And I was like,
you
Casey,
came in like an Under Armour shirt.
no, that was my. Okay, this is what I'm getting to. I was like, Casey, you've got to bring a red button-up shirt, a white tie. He's like, I got it. All right, I'll be there. I got it. All right, cool. Casey shows up. Of course, he doesn't have a shirt
None of it.
in the
None
tie.
of
Nothing.
So
He
I
came completely naked.
so I get a red Under Armour shirt, a short sleeve red Under Armour shirt.
Oh,
And he
yes.
puts that on, and then puts the white tie. No, there's no
On top.
collar.
It looked
It's just-
fantastic.
yeah, it was beautiful.
That's right.
I think we were like, people are gonna know that that's not a button. He's behind the drums.
We had
They
to
know
like
what to
tape
do.
over the Under Armour logo.
No one will care. It's all right.
But no, our first show was my 17th birthday party, and do you remember the bikini top?
No.
Really?
I was going to say I remember that because it was the first time I've ever seen a woman in a bikini.
That was the first. Oh wow! I'm glad
No,
we could do that
no,
for
I'm just
you.
kidding.
Uh,
I am joking.
No, do you remember the surprise whenever we started playing Purple Haze? Yeah.
My boy Matt over here came out with the bikini top.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Now that you mention, yes,
Now
I
you
do
remember.
remember that.
Now you
That
remember.
was legendary.
That it was. That needs to happen again sometime. Actually.
Yeah, maybe it will.
Actually,
Maybe it will.
there's a bikini top right there.
Go put it on, Matt.
Oh, hang on.
We'll add that in post.
No, but we do need to talk about your Bob Ross shirt real
Yeah,
quick.
please.
Let's go ahead and show that to the camera.
Can you see the Bob Ross shirt?
He's painting in the galaxy.
He
He painted the
he
galaxy.
is the
painted the
galaxy.
galaxy.
Yeah.
He's God painting the galaxy.
A lot of people don't know. Bob
Wow.
Ross is God.
He's actually covering up his real name, which is God Ross.
God Ross.
The only successful painting I've ever done was following Mr. Ross's guidelines.
Did you
Hey.
follow along while watching?
Yeah, no, but see,
Was
I
this
used
recently?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very recent. Actually, if you go on my Instagram, you can see the most
wanna-
recent.
Do you want to
painting.
shout out your Instagram?
Casey Drums at symbol? That's the A with the circle around it.
Right,
Oh.
right.
And then
Some people are really unsure about that.
so it's at symbol A with the circle around it.
Yeah.
CASEYDRUMZ.
Yeah,
Drums
Z.
with a Z.
yeah,
Very
very
important.
very edgy.
Very important and very different. I'm different. But yeah, so the only successful painting I've ever done, I followed his rules, but like halfway through, I was like, none of this shit is working. Wait, I'm not using the right paint. He's using a oil painting, and I was using acrylic, and it's like two completely different worlds.
Yes.
So it didn't turn out nearly as cool. But whatever, man. That's art, baby.
You learned the hard way about oil and whatever the other one
now I
was.
just want to get oil paints because
Oh.
that's what Bob Ross uses, and I can paint along with him.
Maybe you should. You know, it's all on Netflix now. Is that where you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Bob Ross is the truth, the way, and the light.
If
They
you
also
like,
do. There's an annual Twitch stream where they just play the entirety of Bob Ross.
that
What?
sounds amazing.
It's a Twitch stream?
Yeah, they do a Twitch stream every year. I think it's in September.
That's genius.
It's like around the anniversary of his death, I think.
Wow.
Sounds
Very
about
cool.
right though.
I'm into that. I love Twitch, dude.
Yeah.
I love Twitch. There's a whole world completely untouched by a lot of people in the Twitch world.
Oh yeah.
It's like a separate life.
Yeah, no, I'm trying
Different
to
culture.
I'm trying to get Jelly. Me and Jelly, I ran his. He did a video game Twitch stream, and I kind of ran that, and we ended up getting like 400 viewers. Or, I don't know. It was a really good amount of viewers for our very first stream ever.
Were you guys playing games?
Yeah, we played. He's a huge UFC fan, so we played UFC.
Makes sense.
We were gonna play Red Dead Redemption 2, because
Great
he
game.
has that, but he just got sucked into UFC, and no, that was super cool. That's like I'm trying to get him into that world because he's really into like posting Instagram stuff, and there's that whole like real life IRL stream, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get him into that, but we'll see. That might be in the future. If not, I'll be on Twitch one day when I can get a game capture card. That's all I do is play video games, man.
I think you should. I think that would be very entertaining if you started your own.
Maybe.
Is there a channel? Is it a channel on?
Yeah.
Is that
It's
what
like
it
a
is?
Twitch
Okay.
channel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think you should.
It'd be fun. It's basically, I mean, I don't think anything would change from my day-to-day life other than having an audience.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know why I haven't just done it already. I should.
Because then you can't do it naked.
Well, there's got to be a loophole. That's what I've been waiting on, is for someone to find the loophole and call me and go, dude, it's time.
I got the tube sock. Here we go. Okay. Do you remember any other shows? Any other shows from
Okay.
that time?
So I remember the Tinsco Center. I remember this other. I even think it was aside from the Tinsco Center. There was.
We're trying to spark bad memories here.
Okay, all right.
Aside from there were a couple. We played quite
I
a few.
remember the middle school auditorium.
Yeah,
We played a talent show there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that too.
I remember our wars with Better Than 32.
Which, if we wanted to win that war, we could have just called our band 33.
And that would have been it.
Yeah.
That would have been the whole thing.
No, that yeah, okay. So I remember middle school talent show. I remember those two weird Tinsco Center and then some other center show. I remember I just remember this big ass room, man.
Oh.
That was
You're
the,
thinking about our graduation party. Whenever we played
Yes.
it was in like a warehouse kind of thing, right?
it was massive, but it was at what's the it was at the fairgrounds. It was the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was this huge building,
Yeah.
but it was like a
And there were
smaller
like maybe
stage.
25 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just what happens.
Let's see, what else do I remember? I remember the Rocket Town talent show, or the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just the audition.
Yeah, the audition. Yeah, we did not make it to the finals.
Unfortunately.
Do you remember what we played?
Probably Steady As She Goes.
We didn't actually.
Oh, wow.
We didn't play Steady
Interesting.
As She Goes, which was the first song we ever learned together.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
And we never fucking let it go.
We played it all the time.
Every practice. I think our last two shows we did together, we even played that song, didn't we?
I think
Yes.
we did eventually play it, which actually felt kind of
Great
nice.
nights.
It actually felt kind of
Yeah,
nice.
no, it was fun then, because I literally haven't listened to that song since I was in that band.
You can't listen
Dude,
to it.
I
Yeah.
went back recently, actually at the end of last year, so very recently. Went back and listened to Consolers of the Lonely
Mhm.
and
Broken Boy Soldiers.
yes,
Yeah.
fantastic albums, man.
Yeah, both of them
Timeless.
for different
Timeless.
reasons, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
Have you heard the new tracks?
No, from Rack and Tours?
Yeah,
What are you
they're-
talking about?
There's a
They're
new
coming back.
album, my boy.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Yeah, they're gonna be touring this summer.
Very cool.
Yeah,
They've got to come to Nashville, right? Half of them are from here.
yeah. all of them are from here.
They all
actually.
live
They
here.
all live here now.
Well, Jack's not from here.
I wish
Well,
I'd-
but he lives here now.
I wish I'd go back to where they came from for tourists.
No, they have 2 singles out right now. You should go check them out.
Yeah, no, that's
They're really
awesome.
good.
I thought they were dead forever. That's
no,
kick-ass.
Jack did his solo thing, whatever that was, and now
Did you
he's-
listen to what was that song called? Over and over,
yeah.
over and over,
Yeah.
over. That
It's,
song was weird.
It's a strange song.
That was like when the background vocals come in, it's just like so loud. You're like,
It's very Jack White though.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
You can't
I
deny it.
enjoyed it. It was weird. It was really
No,
weird.
the whole album was extreme. I think I saw him 3 times on this solo tour.
Oh wow.
I saw his very first show, and then I saw him at Shaky Knees, and then I saw his very last show at Bridgestone. And
kick-ass.
the album, like I said, very strange, but the live show was incredible, super energetic. I think he had 2 synth guys, bass player, female drummer, really incredible drummer, and then him, of course. But I mean, the energy was insane. You look what you did, look what you did. You got to pick that up now on camera. There you go.
Good job.
It's a magnet.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Do you remember? Now I'm gonna see if Matt remembers this. All right.
I probably will.
Yeah, I know.
Matt
Not.
has the memory of Stephen Hawking.
Kind of true. So
And
this
Bob
was
Ross.
You cannot stump me.
Do it right.
That was a terrible Stephen Hawking voice.
you can
You know,
can,
rest in peace, Stephen
you
Hawking.
can do a lot
I'm
of things,
sorry.
Matt, but that's not one of them.
No, that's not one of them. I can't do Microsoft Sam. I'm sorry.
That's fine. So there was one night we were at practice. It was a little bit later actually, and your mom came downstairs to listen to us, accompanied by her friend.
I remember this event happening, but I do not remember what was said.
Okay, I don't remember what was said either. For something about your mom's friend thought Matt was cute, right?
I remember a very different story.
Oh.
I remember being on top of Band Hill with Casey when you handed him this poster that his dad now has in his room. And his mom was like, my friend said if I was going to have a guy and I was still in high school, that would be the guy.
Maybe this was
Talking about me.
maybe this was the same person.
And Matt has lived his life completely fulfilled since then.
I have been fulfilled. I was stalked by a cougar at a tender young age.
It really set the tone for your life, didn't
Yeah.
it? Matt?
Be like, you know what? All these young girls, they can shove off.
But that's not the end though.
Ah,
She didn't
screw.
just say that.
It's not. Yeah, okay. I don't remember what was said then.
She sat down in a chair
Oh no, I do remember this.
and she said, "I want you to play for me."
Yes, I do remember that now. I do not remember what happened afterwards. I think I blacked out.
Do you don't
Out of
remember
pure
this at all, do you?
nervousness. No, God, no. How could I? Had nothing to do with me, okay?
Oh, right, I'm
I may have-
sorry.
I think I was festering in jealousy and anger.
Like, man, I've always had a crush on that friend, Mom. How would you bring her down here?
I could play for her anytime she wants.
And then you did, and then you played for her,
Yeah.
and she was like about it. I don't know. That
Did she
just really
smooch
stood
me
out.
or something? Is that what happened?
Maybe
She
I
probably
don't
kissed
know.
you on the cheek or something crazy.
Maybe,
I don't remember.
but you do remember that though.
Yeah, I remember the event happening. I just don't remember a lot of the details.
Mm. Yeah, it's fine.
I do remember one of the best memories is the drum battle between Casey and Pops.
Ah, yeah, I do remember that.
My
actually.
pops?
Your
Yes.
pops. He asked
Pops,
he asked us
Pops.
to
Wow.
call him Pops, so
Yeah.
that's just.
I still call. I
Good
call him.
old David Welcher.
I think when I turned 18, I was like, I'm gonna start calling him Pops. Like, I was calling him Dad. He's not my dad. He's my stepdad. But I love both of my dads.
Yeah.
And but I had to differentiate somehow. So stepdad is Pops and Dad is Dad.
Right.
So
both really cool guys for
Great
different,
guys.
for different reasons.
great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad is like a multi-talented musician.
Yeah. He's where I got my my discomfort in playing one instrument.
Yeah.
Because when I started playing drums, he was like, well, you need to learn guitar too. And I was like, why? I'm playing drums. He's like, trust me, you need to learn guitar, dude. He's going to watch this and be like, you're an asshole.
Or maybe he won't. Who knows?
I don't know. Well, shout out to Pops and Dad.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
They formed the basis of Casey Jarvis.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
Stepdad is a very talented drummer, though.
Very talented,
Yeah.
very great pocket drummer.
Yeah. Tours, or does he still
used
tour?
to. No, he used to. He'll fill in with. So my mom plays for Highway 101.
Yeah.
She was the second singer in that whole world, but the better of the two, if you ask me.
Oh, there you go.
Home.
It's getting
Shots fired.
It's getting spicy in here.
Mom is
but-
always best.
Yeah, no.
Never
but
forget it.
My stepdad will play with them every now and again, and other than that, he is a pipeliner, working construction,
And he loves his job.
well, no, he doesn't. But he loves the money that he makes
Yeah.
working the
Yeah.
job.
As would I.
My
Yeah.
real dad is multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist,
Yeah.
and I think that's really where I got it from. Since I was a kid, I've listened to his solo album that he put out, and he played most all of the instruments on that album, which is really cool. It's something I aspire to do myself. So, yeah, shout out to Dad for great music. What
instilling
was your
that in you.
question?
I don't think there was a question exactly.
There was no question.
What?
Anyway, more about my dad.
This is just family hour.
Because you started playing drums first, right? That was your first thing, and I think you told me you'd gotten to a point where you were a little bored, and you
Yeah.
were like, I want to do something else.
Yeah,
too.
I got to a point, and I'm not at that point anymore. I feel like I was best at drums when I was like 16, and I would just sit in the band. Like my parents didn't have TV hardly. They had like the 15 channels that worked on the antennas, and I had like a Nintendo 64 when the Xbox 360 was out. Like we were kind of hand-me-down sort of family, which is, looking back, I'm really grateful for that because I wasn't a spoiled brat. But yeah, so when I was 16, about 16, I was at my peak on drums, just because there was nothing else to do but procrastinate on doing homework and learning my favorite band's music. And that's what I did. I would just sit in the basement and learn every lick for lick what these guys were playing. And I don't do that anymore at all. I really don't like to actually now. But back then I would learn everything I could, and played a lot of double bass metal kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of fast stuff. And I got to a point where I just kind of got bored. I didn't really know what to do anymore. So I just branched out. I think the very first song that I learned on guitar was it's that Fall of Troy song, Caught Up.
Yeah.
Caught
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah. I remember that.
And I remember taking an entire day to learn those chords and those chord changes, because there's at least 8 or 9, maybe even more chords in that song, and it was a really tough song. But I remember learning that and being like, oh God, I can really do this. And then I learned this guitar solo from this band Good Old War on their song, I don't remember, but I just started like learning stuff that I wanted to play, and I realized, oh wow, I can actually do this. But I feel like the reason I was able to pick up on the other instruments so quickly was because of my original learning rhythm.
Yeah.
Understanding and knowing rhythm, because I think that's what a lot of guitarists' problem is in a lot of ways.
It's
is
timing,
and not being able to play with a metronome, not being able to really lock into a groove, and I felt like that side of things I had already conquered. I know how to play with a metronome. I know how to understand where rhythms fall in the beat. And
That's where band helped us a lot too.
Yeah, for sure.
Marching
for
band
sure.
really instilled that metronome into our mind.
Well, you don't have a choice but to march on tempo.
Yeah.
Your foot goes down every single beat, and
it's less of a head thing, more of an entire body thing.
Yeah.
Your whole body was in time.
Exactly. You're applying your entire body, and the more limbs that you can get involved with your timing, the more you'll understand it, because it really truly is a feeling inside of you. Like you can follow tempo without moving an inch of your body if you fully understand tempo. Like you can turn on a metronome, tick 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 tick, turn it off, and still have that inner beat. Turn it back on, and you're still right on beat with it. If you have that full understanding of rhythm. And it's a weird thing to grasp, because anybody can turn on a metronome and go, I'm clicking along with it.
Yeah.
I'm following the beat right now.
But
I'm following
it's
it.
over an amount of time.
Yeah, but then whenever you've got this beat going and you're trying to go ta 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 ta, it's like you're filling in these spaces where there is no click.
Yeah.
You're following a beat that isn't actually there. You're making up over this steady beat, and it makes it a lot more challenging. That's what I think a lot of people have trouble with, is timing and rhythm, and that gave me the edge. I think was having the drums first, which is again going back to Chon, my favorite band. Their lead guitarist, who was kind of like the brainchild of it all, started as a drummer. He was a drummer first, and then you listen to their music and you'll fully understand that, because it's just like these insane rhythms that, to me, like it's like an exercise for a drum pattern. Like some of the rhythms that they play are like da 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 da, which is something that I would do to just warm up.
Yeah,
but they're doing it on guitar, like like that kind of thing. The reason he was able to do that is because he had that drum background. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you are, as a musician, unsolicited advice to all musicians, if you want to get better at music, man, study rhythm.
Yeah,
all kinds of rhythm. Study drums.
It helps any musician to understand at least a little bit of every other instrument you're playing with.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. You want to know why your bass player is doing what he's doing. You want to know why your drummer's doing what he's doing. You want to have that fully rounded idea of what a band does. And
you want to be able to understand each other.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
speak their language.
Speak the language, for sure. Yeah. That I feel like that has never been lost on you guys, working with you guys. I feel like we've always been able to at least get the idea across of what we want and again, we've always kind of, I don't think we ever wrote originals together, right? We always kind of did covers.
We had a couple. They were not great, but that was early in our writing.
Right, that was the beginning of it all. And
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the majority of it was covers. So that kind of that didn't really give us the full chance of trying to express our musical ideas.
Sure.
But at the same time, we had to know the lingo and understand. What's going on in each realm. And I think learning covers made you, or it made us, look at the full band. Because,
exactly.
You would notice whenever I would play a drum beat that wasn't exactly on with the album, because you practicing along, you're hearing these drum beats and you go, okay, now that I've heard this, it's the cue to play this part or whatever. And if I don't play that part exactly, you're going to be in your head like, oh, that's not exactly what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we had that in a way, but not fully, because we didn't write original music.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that helped with our timing as well too, because whenever we're practicing to these tracks, they're playing to a met.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what I've always like. Anybody that's asked me, like, how do you learn to play with a met? Like, don't learn to play with a met. Learn to play with other people's music that record with a met.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be right on beat. As long as you can play along with those, you may as well be playing with a met.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to understand what that met is for, what you're listening for. That's one thing people don't fully understand, I think, is that is there for reference to a very very strong degree, I guess is what I could say. It's dictating what the song is what the pace of the song is. So you have to look at it like a dictator. You have to look at that metronome like it is the truth, the way, and the life.
It control. It's the most important part of the song.
Yeah,
it's the most important part.
If we play with a metronome and you're off slightly,
we're all
gonna
screwed.
notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna fall apart. It's gonna fall apart.
Metronomes are musicians' gods.
We worship, and I think it's harder the older you get too.
For sure.
Yes.
It's weird. It's a weird feeling because you want to just like. It's so much easier to just jam. Just rock and play, but a lot of times you'll go through like 40 different tempos in one song.
Yeah.
If you're just jamming. Like just it's that tempo fluctuation, and people feel that. It depends on what kind of music you're playing. If you're playing rock and roll, it's not really as important. You want to be, you don't want to drop like 15 beats per minute in the middle of a song unless that's what the song calls for. But like if you're fluctuating a little bit, maybe 3-5 beats per minute throughout a song, it's not ruining the song, but that steady tempo people feel a lot better and they're able to dance better with, and you know what I mean?
And I feel like you said, whenever you're jamming and it fluctuates so much, whenever you go to hit the record button and you do hit the met, you're like, oh, that's too slow, or no, never mind, that's too fast. Like where is it? It's so hard to find it.
That's something with my band that has been weird. Is like we'll write this whole song, and every time we play it, we're like, oh, this is badass, and then we go to record it and we pick a tempo for it. And we'll come to this part in the song where we're like, what the hell? This is so fast right now. But it's because every time we come to that part in the song, we slow down a little bit.
Yep.
And, playing it with the metronome, and sometimes that'll even ruin the part. That'll make the part feel like, oh, this is way too rushed.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make sense anymore,
And then you go back to slow down the first part, and you're like, well, this is way too slow.
Exactly.
This can't happen.
Tempo is I would say, 70% of the song that you write.
Oh yeah.
I've written some songs that I wish to God I would have just made 15 beats faster.
Yeah.
They're just like, they're cool songs, but they're just so slow and they just drag on, and it's like, if I would have just made those and I could. Obviously I could make them faster, but in the moment of the song, you want it to be what was I saying?
Well, that's just art in general, I think. We were talking about this not earlier, but in a different podcast. You can be creating something, and you're like, man, this is great. I love what I'm doing right now. This looks great. I'm so happy with this. You leave for 2 hours, come back, and you're like, this is absolute shit. I really hate what I'm doing right now.
This.
So you're never going to be happy regardless.
Yeah, no, it's tough, dude. It's really hard. That's and especially working with other musicians.
Oh, yeah.
If it's you, if it's just you working by yourself, you go, okay, well, I'll drop it down a few beats per minute, or I'll pick it up a few beats per minute. Fine. That's your choice. Mm-hmm. If you're working with musicians, you have to express why you think it should go 15 beats per minute higher, why you think it'll make the song better, why you think, you know what I mean?
Don't be mad at me, though.
Yeah. No, you have to create this whole, like, it's almost
dissertation.
Like, it's like a business pitch. Yeah. It's like, okay, if you look here, you'll see that there's, you know what I mean? Like,
I've made a pie chart here.
Remember this whole job you were doing before? Take it and change it.
Yeah, no.
Don't worry
I know
about
it's
it.
hard to play already, but we need to pick the tempo up. Screw you, dude.
It's challenging, but you got to make it happen.
Indeed.
Good old art.
You have to be a team player when you're in a band. Otherwise, there's no band.
That's
it's
true.
not going to happen.
I'm going to go pee real quick.
Oh,
Can I do that?
You can if you want to. We can just end it now.
No, I'll be right back.
It's been an hour and a half.
What?
Yeah.
It's been an hour and a half, my dude. We talked for a long time.
All right.
Do you want us to talk while you pee and then you want to come back?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll be right back.
All right. Just don't.
It'll take very short amount of time. I promise.
All right.
All right. Okay.
We'll take this opportunity to have a word from our sponsors. Oh my God. How you doing, Matt? You doing good?
I'm doing pretty all right, Dalton. How are you?
Matt's been sick for the past
I have
week.
been sick. I don't
And,
know if it shows in my voice, but I have been sick.
Well, you've had two kinds of sicknesses.
I have had two kinds of sick.
You've had the cough, which we've all had because
Yeah.
the weather in Tennessee has
It's
been.
the winter time.
Is it?
And then it's
Is
the
it not?
springtime. And then it's really winter time.
You never know what you're gonna get because
Yeah.
today it was in the 50s, and
Ish.
tonight it's gonna be in the 20s. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
even know. But a lot of people are sick in the surrounding areas right now.
Yeah.
Which you have been sick. You've had the cough and whatnot, but you've also gotten something else.
Yeah, I also had some not cool stomach issues.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. I felt like I was going to die. It's pretty terrible.
But you're still here.
I am still here.
and,
I
we're
am
happy-
alive.
We're happy about that.
So take that.
Let's take this opportunity to say, hey, did you know we're in a band called
Did
Stray
you?
Nova? What? Did you?
Who would have thunk?
We are. So go and find Stray Nova on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's just at Stray Nova, except for Twitter because somebody already had the handle. So it's Stray _
Underscore.
Nova.
Got to put that space.
Right, very important. I'm glad we're still recording. I just
Same. Same.
you're back. Thank goodness.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
And YouTube. Go and find us on YouTube. That's where
YouTube
this
as well.
that's where this podcast will be. It'll be
Yeah.
on YouTube. You can go and subscribe to Nova Talks on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, and now on Spotify because that's a thing.
Boom.
Welcome back,
Boom.
Casey.
Two
Hey,
sponges.
thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
welcome
for
back.
having
So what were we talking about?
I don't know,
remember.
but I thought about we lost our train of thought, but I thought it'd be funny to tell the story about how our band fizzled.
Oh yes, of
We
course.
can
of
wrap
course.
we can wrap up with this beautiful
Yeah,
story.
we'll wrap up with that.
So let's see. How does this start?
It started like a
This was,
normal practice would.
This
Yeah,
was
no.
post graduation.
Post graduation. So
For
you guys
us,
had-
anyway.
had
For
already
us, yeah, you
graduated.
were,
I was,
yeah.
I was in high school still. So basically, I had talked to my mom about like my feelings about the band, and just basically what. Not like I never had any problems, but I had joined this metal band, who was really kind of starting to take off.
Can I say the name of the band?
Yeah, of
I don't
course.
remember.
Was it
it's,
Ballad?
It
we
starts
were called
it's Corica.
Corica.
Corica, that's what it
Oh,
was.
yeah, that's
Corica.
right.
Yeah, it started out as Corica of the Unsung, and so Corica is supposed to be chorus in Latin, so it would be chorus of the Unsung, but that was just so much to say, so we changed
It
it.
was Corica.
Anyway, so I was in two bands at once, and it got to a point where I had to. I guess I didn't have to, but I don't know. It just got to a point where I was neglecting one band or the other, and it ended up being Backward Brigade. And so I talked to my mom about the struggle that I was having in my mind, and my little brother was present for this conversation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So the next practice, I think it was like the next day after I had talked to my mom about this, or it may even, I don't know, it may have been the same night. I don't remember. But anyway, so Dalton and Matt show up for practice, normal night, and I think I wasn't gonna talk to them about this yet, but it was gonna be maybe the next week, or I don't remember. I was putting it off. I'm a procrastinator. So they get there and they're like moving their gear into the basement, and my little brother, who's like 7 or 8 or something like that, he like follows us into the basement and goes, "What are they doing here? I thought you were gonna quit the band." And I just look at him like, I could kill you. I could actually murder you right now.
Matt and I are just wide-eyed.
Yeah, Matt and Dalton are like,
Let's not forget the fact I had literally just bought a brand new guitar at that point.
Yeah. we both did.
Yes, we both did.
We went
We
to Guitar
both
Center. You had bought the Ibanez, and I bought the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Just to make me feel more like an ass.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they did
We
it.
had, it was post-graduation. We had fresh graduation money.
Oh, yeah.
Went and bought the
And-
new instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my little brother's like, I thought you were quitting that bad. Why are they here right now? And I was like, go the fuck upstairs, little kid. I'll kill you. And then so we get into the basement, and I just remember the unbelievable amount of shame that I felt. And so I was like, well, guys, yeah, kid's right.
I guess I am quitting.
I guess I gotta tell you now, since this little freaking idiot just spilled the beans. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna quit this band for this stupid metal band that I'm in. And we went through with the practice, which was crazy. And like I remember actually like tearing up and just feeling so bad, like just feeling like shit the whole practice. And like by the end of it, I was almost crying, and like it was a sad moment. But it was like one of those sad moments where you're like, this is probably all right.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. It's gonna be okay. But
Why
yeah,
did we
made
even
it.
practice?
No, that's the thing. No, I don't know. Like
I do. I remember practicing though, but why did we do it?
it was like you guys were already there, and it was like, well, I guess we're already here, so
I guess
Yeah.
might as well
we
just go ahead and do
play
this
through
thing.
the songs so we
Here we
know
go.
'em for whatever
This
reason.
is steady as she goes.
Steady as she goes, indeed, boys.
Oh my God.
Let's play
do
Flirting
you
with
re-
Disaster again, I guess.
that's what we played for the audition. We played Flirting with Disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we won that other talent show with Flirting with Disaster. We got first place
God, we were so good at that song.
because we played it so much.
So much.
Do you remember same night that you quit the band? There was a mic stand, right? I mean, it wasn't cooperating with you, so you like just your emotions were flowing, and you just started beating this mic stand on the ground, and it broke in two. Do you remember this?
No. And I really wish you wouldn't have said that, because I think my dad's been trying to find out what happened to that mic stand for years now.
Now
I think
he
I told
finally
him that
knows.
like one of my idiot friends broke it or something. I don't know.
It's been 10 years, Casey.
Yeah, no, time does not heal wounds.
Ah, well, you know. I
Well, it heals
remember that.
wounds, but not fix mic stands.
No,
Let's not do
no.
that.
Mm-mm. Oh, before we call it quits,
We can
You-
do this all night.
we can go for 2 hours if you want to. I don't care.
I don't care, dude. Fuck it.
You wanted to ask him a certain thing.
Oh, yes.
Lay it on me.
At our last show that we played together.
So,
not
well,
as Back Row Brigade,
well-
but as...
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
take
no,
a
no.
side note. We started Stray Nova, and then Casey played a couple of the first shows with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I filled in.
Yeah.
Graciously, because he was the best drummer we knew.
I was happy to be there. It was
Yeah.
a fun.
We were
really
happy to
fun
have
time,
him.
man.
Yeah, of course.
It was good to...
We had a lot of fun.
we played a
fun
lot of
times.
old songs that we had not played in a long time.
Yeah,
And some that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
yeah.
He filled in on our new originals and did a bang-up job.
You did. You really did.
But
Thank you, sirs.
my question is, this last show that we played together, which
Yeah.
was over a year ago now, I guess.
Let's go through the entire thing, shall we?
Okay, you're gonna make me spill the dirt. Huh?
Yeah.
Unless you
Yeah.
don't want to.
No, no, no. I
This
don't
was
care.
after a...
I mean, there's no ties anymore, right?
No, no.
You're good to go.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
all. I wish well to everybody.
Right. So
Let's hear the
well,
question before I tell on myself.
right.
Right.
Well, we'll start with us, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
me and you were here.
Yes.
We were supposed to be in Kentucky at like 5 or 6, something like that.
Something like that.
It was like 3:30, I think. No. It was
we
it was
met
like,
here at like noon.
Okay, no, you're right. So I sent a message to Casey on Facebook, and because the night or 2 nights before we had talked, and you were like, just pick me up at the vape shop that I work at in Nashville,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. I'm like, all right, cool. So I sent a message to Casey, and no response, none whatsoever.
None.
And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, oh, he's probably just asleep, whatever, or maybe he's just not looking at his phone. And I know what you're doing, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. We're so So me and Matt, we load up our gear, and we start heading to Nashville to go to your house because we're like maybe he just slept in. We'll go knock on his door. He'll wake up. We'll get in the car. So we drive to his house after we loaded up, knocking, banging on the door. Nothing. Hear from nobody. No cars in the driveway. We're like, this is bad.
This harkened back to some memories of old, of slippery Casey, who was always hard to get a hold of.
Which was it? What?
My little baby butterball.
Right, there you go.
That's you.
No.
So we're knocking on the door. No, we're like, we know Casey's not in this house. I don't know why.
I don't know why we're
so
still
hard.
here.
So I send a message to your girlfriend, and I'm like, hey, have you heard from Casey? And she messages back, and she's like, no, have you? I'm like,
Oh, God.
Oh, no. And then she tells me, well, he got really drunk the night before the Jelly Roll show, and he called me and was making absolutely no sense.
Multiple times that's happened.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from him
Lauren,
since then.
shout out to you for sticking with my drunk ass.
Yeah. And shout out to Lauren for helping us with this adventure
Yeah.
that we went on.
Yeah.
This
She was
is the
a
only
real
adventure
bro.
She's helped with. She's helped from states away. She's helped me from not dying, basically.
That's impressive.
She's a real one.
You got to keep her around
Yeah.
No
so
doubt.
you don't die.
She's
no,
a true
for
bro. All right.
sure.
So we're like, you know what? Maybe this just isn't supposed to happen tonight. I think we pulled into a Sonic and we're like, we're just gonna eat.
Yeah.
Just kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
And finally, I get a phone call from Casey,
Yes.
and I'm like, I'm interested. And he's like, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, buddy, how's it going? Hang on, let me find out where I am right now.
Yeah. So you want me to tell my side now?
Yeah. I'm passing the baton to you.
All right. So here's my night. We played a show in Knoxville, Tennessee. And so this is possibly the drunkest I've ever been in my life. Not by my own volition, but by the great patrons of that Knoxville, Tennessee show, you dirty bastards. So I barely remember. I barely remember that night at all. We've played that venue a couple times, so like the memories that I have could be from the past times that I've played there. But basically, what I remember from that night is the videos that I saw, one of which being me getting out from behind my drum set, going to the front of the stage, the whole crowd of like 700 people going, take that shot, take that shot, take that shot. And so I'm at the front of the stage taking a shot and throwing the shot glass into the crowd. And so I think by the end of that, I ended up getting up from behind my drum kit, and they tried to start a song and turned around and looked, and I wasn't there. And I Jelly Roll ended up, it was just like we were all so drunk. Jelly Roll ended up getting behind my drum set and playing my drums while I was gone. And because the green room was like right next to the stage. So when I came back, he was like, where you been, Bubba? And I was like, I had to go pee really bad. And so so I got up out of my drum kit to go pee in the middle of a show and came back, and I guess I finished the show out, but I was beyond comprehensible. I was very, very drunk, to the point where, and I may have continued to drink, as stupid as I am, but to the point where by the end of the show, I gave away my hi-hats that my pops had let me borrow that he has used for 20 years. I mean, just literally a family relic of hi-hats. And I just was like, yeah, dude, you can have it, bro. It's yours, man. And I haven't seen him since. I don't know.
That answers my question.
If anybody knows where those hi-hats are, I'll pay good money to get those back. I promise. But yeah, so I wake up the next day. I had a shift at work at 11 o'clock in the morning. I woke up in a house that I was very unfamiliar with at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon with about 7 missed calls from my boss and 3 from Dalton.
Not as many as the boss, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, so I lost my job. Obviously.
That ride up there. So you told us where you were. We came and picked you up. You came out of the house, cowboy boots and all.
Yes.
Realized you had lost the cymbals. Was really
Which
upset
was
about
at that
that.
moment.
It was because you didn't even know. It was who were you staying with? I can't remember his
Jerry
name.
G.
Yeah.
Jerry G. And he was like, "Man, you try to give away all your symbols, man." I was like, "Casey, no, not the symbols."
And I was like,
"Stop
no,
you!"
no, I'm giving these symbols away. I'm doing it.
But at least Jerry G stopped you from giving away all your symbols.
Yeah, no, he was like, well, I mean, I think exactly what he said was like, I figured the little ones would be the less expensive ones. And those were the smallest cymbals. So, yeah, no, he let me give my hi-hats away, which, Jerry G, you saved my life multiple times, man. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Oh, God, man. Jerry's been there for my drunkest of moments. But yeah.
And this is the most.
Yeah, he was like, no, actually, this isn't the most drunk now that I remember. But this was number 2 for sure. But yeah, Jerry was there for both of those. But yeah, he let me get my cymbals away, and I just remember on the way up there, I was like, so what do you guys think I should call my boss and say?
Yeah. You were like, you would like keep getting your phone out and looking at it.
Yeah.
Like, should I call him and tell him, or should I just like not show up ever again?
Yeah. Should I just forget that I ever did that, or do I call him and give him some respect? And I ended up calling him.
You did.
I called him, and I was like, dude, I got too drunk last night, man. And he was like, oh, no, it's all right. Well, we can't really employ you anymore, so I'm going to have to terminate your employment. And I was like, oh, that was easy. All right.
I understand. So
Completely understand. Thanks for having me. It was a great time. Thank you, buddy. He was like, all right, talk to you later. Bye.
So it wasn't even like if you come to work right now, you get to keep your job. It was
No,
like,
no.
you're
It was
done.
like, we can't trust you. There is
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I lost that job on pretty bad terms. I feel like I could go in there and it would be all right, but whatever.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, but that was thanks, Knoxville. That's all I can say about
Thanks,
that.
Knoxville.
Thanks a lot.
Gave you a great night, but made you lose your job.
Yeah, and almost lost my gig with Stray Nova, which would have been
But you
very
didn't.
sad time.
And we had a good time.
We had a great show.
That was actually a really fun time.
that was a lot
Indeed.
of fun, man.
I think the only shows we played with you were at in Kentucky at that we played
We did
two
those
times
Yeah, we
at
did
the
2 times
Energized
at at that spot, and then we did
2 times.
2 times
We did
at
2
that
cover
other
shows. Same location.
Oh, okay. So there were 2 at Energize,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and one of them was at that like weird train station place with the really kick-ass hotel room.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we did another one with that same promoter,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did 2 cover shows.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. All
The
right.
cover shows were pretty fun too.
Those were a blast, man. I did.
Yeah.
I put one of them on Facebook Live, and I think I regret posting that. I don't really remember.
Is it still there?
It might be. I don't
I'm gonna
think I
have to
ever
find
deleted it. But yeah, no, I got pretty drunk that night.
It was
too.
like
Irish
a 2 hour long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
yeah.
it was both nights. I got pretty trashed.
But you still did a good job.
My name is
though.
Casey, and I'm an alcoholic.
Those were fun shows though.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, they really were. I think if the moral of the story is no matter what we've gone through as a trio, it's always been fucking fun.
Oh yeah, it's always been a good time.
blast, and I've always enjoyed it. So anytime you guys need a drummer, let me know.
All right.
We will when you're not playing with Jelly Roll and Struggle, of
Yeah,
course.
man. I mean, I got free dates,
Well, there you go.
I'm sitting on my ass playing World of Warcraft these days. So
We just need to get together and play sometime. That's what we
Yeah.
need to do.
I'm into it, man.
Yeah,
I'm into it. I got a open basement ready.
there you go. Someone is calling the shop right now.
It's a fax, Dalton. It's a fax.
I always get confused. Nope, that's a phone call.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's still ringing. Someone's
Uh-huh.
literally calling at 8:41 at night.
That's funny.
Y'all got business cards? No.
Can we
Go
get
away.
some
But not right
large
now.
prints of the Tennessee Titans?
I need
I need some fat heads.
I need Valentine's Day cards made. Sorry, that's not gonna happen.
It's literally 2 days away. Get out of here.
Yeah. By the way, Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Corporate America Day. Everybody.
Today, I bought my girlfriend some stuff. I'm not
Ooh.
gonna say because she's probably gonna watch this. So.
Uh-oh.
I hope she does.
Oh man.
Or she can listen.
Or she could listen
yeah.
One of
on
the two.
all of the platforms known to man.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music,
Google Play.
Google Play, all of it.
All of it.
all of it.
But yeah, happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you like my present, Lauren. Shout out to you.
You better like it.
If
This
you
is
don't
this
like
is the whole
it,
reason you did the podcast. Just
no, yeah, I just wanted to. Here's my plug, Lauren.
This is my time to shine.
Woo!
Speaking of plugs, is there anything else you would like to plug?
Man, not really. Just please come to that D-Ray show, man.
Yeah.
That would mean so much to me.
March 8th.
March 8th. Yeah, March 8th at the Warehouse in Clarksville. If you can make it, please do. I don't know what the price is. I don't know anything about that, to be honest, but it really it's put together by people, not by a corporation, so the money really truly is going to help a great cause and some really good people. So I would say, that's my plug.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to promote.
So go to it. I mean,
Yeah.
if you live in Nashville, Clarksville, I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really cool
Great
place.
venue. They got great alcohol.
It's all the same everywhere except for the warehouse. It's
If you
better
go to the
than everywhere
warehouse,
else.
that Jack Daniels is gonna taste so good. You're not even gonna believe it, dude.
Say hello to our friend Ben Franklin.
Yeah. do you know who we're talking about?
Is it the sound guy?
It's
Yes.
the sound guy.
Yeah, man. Mr. Ben.
I don't know his actual name,
I do
but he
not
looks
remember.
just like Ben
He's
Franklin.
a gangster, though, man. He holds it together.
No, he really does. No, he's awesome.
He's a fantastic sound guy.
He is an incredible sound
Yes.
guy,
Yeah,
but he looks like Ben Franklin.
He just does.
Once again, March 8th. Let me
Yeah.
think. Struggle Jennings has a. It's not a listening party. It's an album release party. Hang on, let me find this date real quick.
Oh,
I
he's going for it.
believe it's February 22nd. But let me figure this out.
But where at though?
It is at. Oh goodness! Oh goodness!
You're
All
doing a
right.
great job so far. There you go.
Album release party. Struggle Jennings with Alexander King and Way Jennings in Nash Vegas.
Nash Vegas.
It doesn't have a venue. It just has the address, which is 3424 Lebanon Pike, Hermitage, Tennessee, 37076 on the 22nd of February. It's going to be fantastic. This Struggle album is my favorite he's ever put out. It is just absolutely aggressive, in your face, like makes me feel like I'm listening to rock and roll, but I'm listening to rap. It's really a badass album. Come out to the show. It's going to be fun.
Did you play on the album?
No.
Oh, okay.
Scattered Brains, the producer. That is what he goes by. Von Freitag is his real name, but Scattered Brains is what he goes by. Fantastic producer, produced the entire album. Really, really, really cool vision with them. Hopefully the next album I'll be on.
You never know, man. You never know.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
But it's not okay.
I'm still hurt inside.
No. I just started my adventure as a producer with this studio that we're doing the benefit for.
Yeah,
So it's I'm very fresh and all that. So it's not offensive whatsoever to not be a part of it. But I'm always going to be at the live shows anytime Struggle is playing. as long as Jelly and Struggle are not playing on the same day, I play with both of them. If they do play on the same day, might have a little bit of trouble. But
Unless it's the same show.
yeah, I mean, obviously, if it's the same show, I'll be on stage twice. But
For the
typically
benefit, you'll be playing with them both, I'm assuming.
yeah,
Yeah.
typically, or at least this last year, Struggle and Jelly have been playing together. They released 3 albums in 1 year under the title of Waylon and Willie.
Yeah. Really cool idea.
Yeah, man. Very interesting concept. And so the concept, very simple. Waylon and Willie they were best friends.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson, they were best friends. They made music together. So nowadays, the Waylon and Willie of today is Jelly Roll and Struggle. Struggle Jennings is Waylon's grandson, and Jelly Roll smokes just as much or more weed than Willie Nelson. So that's where the comparison comes in.
Yeah.
But Jelly and Struggle have been best friends for 13 years, and really, really, really cool dynamic. Really awesome seeing them put albums out together, and to see them put 3 full-length albums out in 1 year, like that's really
impressive.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of music, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And quality. It's not like they have like 2 hits and then the rest of it is just like whatever. These are just the songs that came out. Like they really put their heart and soul into all 3 albums, and you can hear it, man. It's great. Go check that out. Waylon and Willie 1, 2, and 3. Struggle Jennings is putting out The Widow's Son on the 22nd of February. And Jelly Roll is in the works with Goodnight Nashville 2. He just released Goodnight Nashville 1. Also worth checking out. But I think that's it. My band will be releasing some music soon.
That's about where we are, actually.
Yeah.
As Will Smith would say, that's hot.
To people who aren't educated in the business of music, putting out one album and getting it done in a year is incredibly difficult.
Big deal.
But putting out 3 albums full length in a year, that's unheard of.
That's like hard work.
Hard to
right
do.
there.
Yeah, I mean, you're not just having fun playing music. I mean, you are, but you're also working really
In the
really
studio
hard.
every day.
Yeah.
Thinking
Yeah.
about the same 15 songs every single day for months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, just imagine, I don't know, writing a paper and having to look at that paper every single day over and over for months. I mean, it
would
just
drive you crazy.
That
makes
is
you-
grind
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
There really is. There's a serious grind to it, and it's there's a blessing and a curse to it. I mean, you sit there and you get sick of your own song and you question it and you get in your head and you're just like, God, is this even good? Like, is this worth it? Is this even worth putting out, or whatever? You get in your head about it, but then you have those moments where like the producer will do something cool, or you'll have this cool idea that just completely changes the song into exactly what you want it to be.
And then you're like,
oh my God, yes.
okay.
Don't touch it
It
ever
is what-
again. It's good.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's no satisfaction until you get that mastered copy in your hands.
yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
It's like, this is what the
cool.
work was for. And then
Yeah.
you start seeing everybody listening to it, and you're like, oh, wow, okay, it makes
Yeah.
sense now.
This is why I'm doing this.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, let's end on a good note.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Casey. Thanks for coming
having
out.
me. It was really
Let's have you
cool.
back sometime.
Yeah.
And
I'd be happy to be here again.
Indeed.
Indeed.
We'll be glad to have you.
Indeed.
that was
um,
hot.
This is Nova Talks. Since I did the opener, I'll do the closer too.
Oh, you want to
Alright,
do the
we're ready.
closer too?
Yeah.
Hit it.
Thank you for listening to Nova Talks. This has been your host, Casey Jarvis, with my guests.
My name is Dalton.
My name is Matt.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I could have you guys today.
Oh yeah, of course.
Glad
It's
to
been
be here.
wonderful. Really wish you wouldn't have asked me those weird questions, but that's how
Yeah,
it goes.
it's
I
strange because we thought you were the host, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
guess. No, I am the host. but-
Right, right.
This is my show. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being here, man. This has been Nova Talks. We'll talk at you next time.
Bye.